Now, media houses that want to cover the ANC's national conference next month, it seems are going to have to cough up to do so. The cash-strapped ruling party says it's exploring other avenues of revenue at its 55th elective conference, which is due to take place at Nasrec from the 16th of December. With over 4,000 delegates expected, each said to be paying around 6,000 rand to be there, the ANC is saying it's only fair that media outlets pay as well. Let's find out more from ANC spokesperson Pule Mabe. Mr. Mabe, thank you so much for joining us. Let's first deal with this issue. Are you going to be charging media houses to attend the conference and cover the conference?
Not at all. It's quite unfortunate that our own interaction with the media around the concept of media packages that the ANC DIP wants to put forward has been taken out of context. Coming out of the 55th, coming out of the previous policy conference that we had just now in July, we were oversubscribed with the number of media and media houses that came, journalists, including media houses that came. We had over 300 of those. That is oversubscription. When they are there, you have to make sure that you provide for their catering, you provide for their studios, and all of that. So we have said that we will undertake visits to various media houses. In those visits, we'll discuss with them the packages that we have. We will say, eNCA, this is the space that we have for yourself. If eNCA makes a determination that it needs additional extras to do its own work or because it is bringing additional manpower, eNCA will then have to say, how do I then deal with my additional extras? It doesn't have to become the problem of the African National Congress. But the ANC, always when we plan for our conferences, we always make provision for the media. So those provisions are already being made. But we are saying, as a cushion, coming out of what we saw in the policy conference, we have to put in measures so that we are not ourselves confronted with extra things that were not there during planning, which end up attracting additional costs to the work that has got to be done. So when the statement is taken out of context to even say cash-strapped ANC, so basically, because we are cash-strapped, we can't even do a conference. We can't even cater for journalists, because that is the picture. Let me just conclude. That is the picture that is being painted out there. It is quite an unfortunate picture. If journalists who were there with us today understood us to be saying something else, it's unfortunate. There is no single media house today, as they left Nasrec, that we said to them, this is how much a media house will have to pay.
But you are, so let me just understand, then you say you are going to be engaging with media houses
yes,
to discuss packages. Let's just give context here. Never before has any media house, certainly not eNCA, ever been asked to pay money to attend an ANC conference.
That's why even today, we did not put in a price tag. I want a journalist who says to me, let me finish. A journalist who says to us, because if we don't, you can imagine, your viewers can also end up with the confusion that has been created by journalists who met with us today. Because there is no journalist today who can say, I am sitting with this price tag.
No, that's true.
That the ANC says it wants to charge.
But what is this package all about then? What's in this package and what is it going to cost us or not?
But remember, if you want things that are extra, if you want things that are extra than what we provide, you'll have to provide for yourself. I mean, we run an organization. If you okay, the package works like this.
Yeah, definitely.
So your technical teams know this because they come to every time when we work with your technical teams. We did the same even when we went to the policy conference. I can account for activities I undertook as national spokesperson. We are with your technical team. We show them the spaces allocated for eNCA. If the space we allocate for eNCA is lesser than what the eNCA wants, it now falls outside the ANC. We say, but look, we have given you what we can provide. Sometimes, and which is what we saw with the policy conference, media houses end up deploying more journalists than we can provide.
But you accredit them all, so you can just simply say, no. And we've had this before. So the way it's always worked in the past, so this is what I'm trying to get my head around, is that we would bring our backup generators, for example. We bring all the extras that we need to make that space work.
Yes.
You say to us, we only have this amount of space for journalists. Get your accreditation in. If you miss the cut, you miss the cut. So it's our responsibility. You also have to look at what the venue can hold, what you can accommodate.
I agree with you.
So that's kind of where we're at.
Yes.
That's why I'm trying to understand these extras. Are you saying we'll lay on these extras if you pay us?
Yes, but you don't. It doesn't even have to be us, you know. So I don't think that the notion of media packages was not necessarily driven by commerce. No, it was driven by the desire to accommodate the needs of media houses. So, for instance, today we had a site visit in Nasrec with the Treasurer General, Comrade Pule Mabe, and as well as Comrade Gwen Ramokhupa. We took journalists around the Nasrec precinct. We shared with journalists our own desire from a media point of view to create a media arena to be able to make sure that we can provide space for journalists to interact with the leadership of the ANC.
Which you've always done.
Yes, and all of our stakeholders who want to do that. So now we say, colleagues from the media, coming out of the policy conference, lessons learned are that if we do not put in a regulatory framework on what we are able to do ourselves, we end up sitting with oversubscriptions. So, for instance, the meeting we'll have with eNCA next week, similar ones that will be taking place with other media houses, will empower yourselves to say, okay, we will also be empowered ourselves to know this is the amount, the number of journalists that the eNCA will be bringing. So many will be requiring day passes. For instance, sometimes you might want to put a certain, you might want to do a segment of conference in a certain show. You know?
Sure.
So you will say to us, okay, Pule, so and so who are anchors of this show will want them accommodated as for day passes on these days. They are not always there throughout the duration, but they are there for days where they need to be doing the coverage. So it's not different to what we have done in the past. Maybe it's because this time around it is this pronounced. But in the past we did this, but we did this with your team, with the technical teams.
No, what I was saying is, what I don't understand is what's different, because those are the nuts and bolts of the conference,
you know,
the logistics you have to discuss. My only question really then is, when you discuss these packages to try and manage the logistics better, is there ultimately going to be a price tag given to eNCA, for example, to say, well, if you want that, you're going to have to pay this, which has never been part of the discussion.
I wouldn't know. Even if that was to happen, it's not a crime, by the way. But I wouldn't know. I'm just saying the eNCA is a commercial. Maybe we must have a different debate. The eNCA is a commercial enterprise. It makes its monies out of selling advertising space. The eNCA is not owned by the state. The eNCA buys tents that it uses. It procures tents that it uses there. The eNCA is the one that says to the ANC, how did you manage to do your conference when you did not pay your people's salaries? And yet journalists of the eNCA were fed at that conference.
No, it's called free media.
No.
This is what happens. You have to be transparent. You are the governing party. You should be in a perfectly able situation.
Can I make my point? Can I make my point? You are a commercial enterprise.
Yeah.
You sell advertising. Your salaries don't come from the state. You sell advertising. You make news. So by the way, there are people who are buying advertising now on eNCA because we are on television ourselves.
Yeah.
Because your screens don't go blank. So let's understand.
There's nothing wrong with that, because let's face it creates business. Business pays tax. Tax goes into pockets of politicians to look after people.
No, I didn't know that you are this confused about what government does.
The fiscus runs off taxpayers' money.
No.
I pay taxes. You pay taxes. No, there's nothing wrong with being a private enterprise, Pule Mabe. You try to make me feel bad because I work for an independent television station.
It represents two things. It represents confusion and misunderstanding on your part.
No, it doesn't.
What? Let me explain myself.
Off you go.
Let me explain what the ANC. The ANC is a political party. Understand that. The ANC is that's why not every South African is a member of the ANC. You decide which party you join. But every South African pays tax.
That's right.
But not all of them are members of the ANC.
No, I know.
So the ANC, let me explain.
The ANC is the govening party.
Yes,
and as government, you control the fiscus, which is fed by taxes.
Can I explain myself? The ANC is a governing party. Né? There's the ANC at Lituli House.
Yeah.
This conference is not organized by government.
Of course,
I think
aware of that.
what we
Let's be clear. The ANC is the governing party. Yes, the ANC is a
so you are compatible.
party.
So you will be compatible to pay other political parties, not the ANC.
No, we don't.
That's fine.
As a matter of principle, we do not pay.
No, let me tell you, the ANC is not saying the media must pay. Let's clarify that. But I think the confusion we bring about is that it doesn't. Let me tell you, by the way, as a principle, there is nothing wrong for political parties to create media arenas and charge a fee for media houses to be in there, in the same way that the media goes.
Well,
you must show me.
In a sense, when you're restricting access, bearing in mind that the people are watching, even on DSTV,
yes,
are paying.
They're paying their subscribers. Yes,
they're paying their they're paying their television license, which is a tax.
They are also paying DSTV.
Which runs government.
They are also paying DSTV. They are paying. For instance, for instance, eNCA is not on free to air.
But here's the thing.
Somebody who is not having a decoder. Look at how expensive you are. For somebody to watch you, they need to have a decoder. Somebody who doesn't have a decoder is not watching us now as we speak, because this is not free to air. This channel is on a decoder.
So are you saying that you're considering charging private radio?
We are not charging anyone. We're not charging anyone.
So then why did you have this whole discussion with me?
No, but because you wanted to understand the notion of media packages. And I was clarifying. Remember,
Is there a price tag in these media packages? That's all I want to know.
But let's clarify your viewers. I didn't invite myself. You invited me.
So, I know, because we read the headlines and we were concerned.
So I was as concerned as you were, because we never said that the media must pay to be there. We said we'll be visiting media houses to discuss packages, so that, because we've got limited space and limited resources that we are able to provide. Let me give you a simple example, arising out of media diversity. Today you have got more media houses than you had in the past, and all of them want studios. All of them want studios. So now, tell me, what must I do? When I give preference, must I then say I'm giving preference to eNCA, to the public broadcaster, to newsroom? So the ANC cannot be seen.
But I agree with you, and I hear what you're saying, and you need to accommodate everyone, because that's what a free press is all about. But that's not my problem.
Okay, what's the issue?
The issue is, are you going to be asking any media houses to pay for any aspect of the coverage? Because in the past,
no, we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that.
Are they paying for extras?
No, we're not going. If there's going to be anything, and remember, where we are sitting now, as of today, there is no media house that is going to be asked to pay.
All right, so when my managers engage with you next week, there's not going to be well, if you want that amount of Wi-Fi, you're going to have to pay for it.
When we engage...
Yes or no?
No, look, then there is no need for me to meet with them if I can clarify everything here.
Go for it.
I'm going to meet with the eNCA to understand their requirements. And I will say, eNCA, this is what I did in the past to accommodate your needs. So I hope that you are going to work well within what we did in the past. If eNCA says yes, it's fine. We've signed off. Then we come back. Okay, eNCA, this is where we're going to be putting your OB vans. These are the security measures associated with this conference. Today, we already showed you the rooms that we need. We were putting in a caution, because let me tell you, well, in fairness to eNCA, you don't do it. You know, there is also a temptation that when media houses think that there could be more space to play around with, they forget that we have to accommodate almost everyone. Sure. So you find one media house wanting to take almost everything, and that doesn't help.
Nothing wrong with trying to control that.
Because the context of the diversity we want to drive is that we want Teta FM to also have space to cover the conference.
What I'm getting is that you're not going to be charging us. One final question. If we go for a cup of coffee together at the conference, will you pay or will I?
I will.
Had to ask.
No. If we go for a cup of coffee and we don't use the coffee stations provided by conference that the TGO has made available for everyone, if you and I decide to go for a cup of coffee and we use the canteen, depending on who has got loose count, whoever has got loose count at that point pays for the coffee.
As long as it's good quality coffee.
As long as it's good quality coffee. But you see, I don't think that, and maybe this debate we must come and have later on, that in the changing media landscape where we are, what kind of, because you see, 1 minute we are the ANC at Lituli House, The next minute, we're the governing party.
No, but you are, I understand how one feeds into the other.
Yes.
I totally get that.
Yeah,
but you know what the reality is? Our president is president of your party, but he's also president of the country. So there's a very strong overlap.
But look, we've got...
And a great interest in what's going to happen in December.
And we know that the conference of the ANC is a matter of public interest. And it's quite interesting that a statement like media package could make the news in the manner that it has. Because if the journalists who were there understood what we meant by that. So
it's not about money, it's about resources.
It's about resources.
Got you.
Because if we say to you, we are coming to meet with you. So make sure that the resources that the ANC provide fits into your own requirements, then we are good to go.
All right.
If we don't do this, you know what will happen? Let me tell you now.
I know what's going to happen. It'll be chaos.
As of today, we already have got about 500 people who have applied to be accredited on our system. Can we afford that? Certainly no.
No, I understand.